Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushua, by Hashem, Makahakodash, double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone, who rule well and taught me this truth. Peace, blessings, salutations, and mercies to the elect and the one-third remnant out there listening and doing this word with all faith and sincerity, scattered amongst the nations and the four corners of the earth. To you, I say Shalom. Lord willing, this video is edifying. It's going to be centered around the topic of if you don't appreciate what you have, the Lord will take it away and give it into another, right? As we know, this year has been full of apostates, right, and sellouts being revealed all through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai. We see guys retreating, right? Things in which they were preaching some time ago, now they're adamantly against. Okay, a big one is Gentile salvation. Okay, you got guys who were once calling on the name of the Lord, no longer calling on the name of the Lord. Okay, you got guys continuing to wax worse. And it started off, in the grand scheme of things, it started off with something that you would, view as maybe not that big, but, that simple disagreement, right, shows that there was or there is not an aligning, right? Everything is not aligned. Okay, if the foundation is off by a quarter inch, by the time it gets to the top, it's going to be off a couple feet, which just goes back into how precise everything is with the Lord. Okay, how the Lord ultimately runs a tight ship. Okay, and there is no difference in doctrine when it comes to what we say. Okay, and guys, they forget this, right? Or they get caught up in things in the world in which causes them to not consider these things. Okay, because the Lord giveth and he taketh away. Okay, just like he gave you this truth, if you ain't doing nothing with it, he'll strip you of it. Okay, this is Matthew 25 and 20. And so he that had received 5 talents came and brought other 5 talents, saying, Lord, thou deliverest unto me 5 talents. Behold, I have gained beside them 5 talents. So he did something with what he was given. He went out and he worked it. Okay, and it made profit. Okay, chiefly being his word. Okay, his Lord said unto him, well done, thou good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of thy Lord, right? So he was responsible with what he had, and he maintained and sustained, and the Lord blessed him. Okay. He also that had received 2 talents came and said, Lord, thou deliverest unto me 2 talents. Behold, I have gained 2 other talents beside them. His Lord said unto him, well done, good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of thy Lord. Right. So the same for this servant. Right. The gifts that he was given, he appreciated them. Okay. And he exercised them, and he was able to turn it into, double. Right. Then he which had received the one talent came and said, Lord, I knew that thou art an hard man, reaping where thou hast not sown, and gathering where thou hast not strawed. And I was afraid and went and hid the talent in the earth. Lo, there thou hast, that is thine. Right. So this nigga, all right, he took the talent and hid it. Okay. He didn't want people to know the truth of what he knew. Okay. It was given to him freely, but he don't want you to learn. Right. Which is the spirit of these other camps, because their leaders all know that, they all heard the truth. Right. How many videos do you have to hear? And then it's coming from, the apostles. Right. Men that, a lot of these leaders know directly. Right. Johanna, Nate, Zabak. Right. And the list goes on. But they still don't subscribe. Now, some are genuine in their ignorance, but, for the most part, they're willful. Okay. They're proud. All right. And they're hiding their talents because they know the truth. Okay. His Lord answered and said unto him, Thou wicked and slothful servant, thou knewest that I reap where I sowed not, and gathered where I have not strawed. Thou oughtest therefore to have put my money to the exchangers, and then at my coming I should have received mine own with usury. Right, so the Lord expects you to come back with more than what he gave you. You're supposed to have more than what he gave you when he comes back, meaning you're supposed to grow. You're supposed to increase. Okay, if you started off, not doing videos, which, we all start off not doing videos, a year, 2 years, you're supposed to have progressed into making videos, right? Into your character, right? The person in whom, you're discovering yourself to be, because, we're new creatures. So you're not supposed to be the same as you was when you first came in, or even a year after that. You're supposed to be developing in time, right? Real time. Okay. That's how the Lord knows if we actually making use of what he gave us, his knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Okay. Take therefore the talent from him and give it unto him which hath 10 talents. Right. So he took what he had and he gave it unto another. Right. For unto every one that hath shall be given, and he that hath abundance from he shall have abundance. Let me read that again. It's Matthew 25:29. For unto every one that hath shall be given, and he shall have abundance. But from him that hath not shall be taken away even that which he hath. And a lot of these guys, they don't, they're afraid to lose what they have in the world. So they don't go full-fledged, right, with the Lord. Okay, classic old tale, right? Because they perceive themselves to have a pretty comfortable life, or you know, they're cool with what they have, so they, they try to keep that, right? Now understanding that the Lord is going to give you an abundance, right? He's gonna hit you over the head with blessings. The more you endure, and ultimately, in the time in which everyone is gonna be famished, right? From power to food to water to shelter to morale, that everyone's going to be lacking, and we're going to have an abundance in the days and weeks to come. Okay, but this guy, these guys, they don't consider that, because they truly don't have faith. They're in this thing for the wrong reasons. Okay. This is Luke 8:18. Take heed, therefore, how ye hear, for whosoever hath shall be given, and whosoever hath not, from him shall be taken that which he seemeth to have, even that which he seemeth to have, right? So the Lord's going to strip you everything, okay? Nigga take pride in his wives and shit, and we just seen this example, right? With Hakah, all right? And then the Lord used what what you're proud of to have the most, to expose you. Nigga been, off the radar since then. Gone. Okay? And that's not even just it. That little status that you had, okay, the little nice fancy cars, and those are coming next. The Lord's going to take your substance all the way up until the point where he takes your life, all right, for being a wicked, evil nigga and thinking that this shit was a game, thinking that somebody was playing, man. Jake is real childish, man, and they don't really consider the things in which they're a part of. It's a joke to Jake, just being honest. It's funny until it's not, right? This is Isaiah 5 and 23, which justify the wicked for reward and take away the righteousness of the righteous from him. And that's what, speaking of Hakah, that's what he did. He, went back and remade the doctrine for a reward, man. Now, do we have proof? Do we have paperwork showing that? No, we don't, but just through the spirit, man, we know what happened. Matter of fact, using his own tongue, his own video, he said that if he's the easiest way to make money and all this other shit is to start calling on Christ. And he said, if he ever did that, just know he sold out. Months later, this nigga's doing it. So just know he sold out. Okay? Talking about salvations for everybody. Trying to take away and diminish our blessing, man. Wicked niggas, man. Therefore, as the fire devoureth the stubble, and the flame consumeth the chaff, so their root shall be rottenness, and their bosom and their blossom shall go up as dust, because they have cast away the law of thy power, or the law of Yahweh Shemashah of hosts, and despised the word of the Holy One of Israel, right? They've shown a lack of appreciation and hate for Yahweh Shah himself. Okay, so of course they ain't gonna, want to push the message in which he brought, right? The doctrine. That's why the Lord said He's gonna dry your ass up, and we've seen that. You just been withering, and all these guys, man. Okay, whether the Lord got you in the limelight right now or not. Okay, the light might be on you next. And the Lord, he's doing a number. Okay, like He said, He's gonna dry you up from your roots. He's gonna turn your roots into rottenness, man. Your very foundation. Okay, and your wickedness shall be seen. It's no longer gonna be hidden. This is because these guys think that, because nobody see them, nobody ever know. But then the Lord do stuff like this. Use people close to you to expose you, man. This is Ezekiel 25 or Ezekiel 22 and 25. There's a conspiracy of her prophets in the midst thereof, like a roaring lion, ravening the prey. They have devoured souls. They have taken the treasure and precious things. They have made her many widows in the midst thereof, right? And that, you guys are guilty of that. Okay, misleading our people. Okay, being hirelings. Okay, shepherds that pity not. But you just, you want to exploit our people for yourself, which is just evil and fucked up. But guess what? The Lord, He has you in the trick bag, okay? Because the same things in which you use to get all that you had, right? Which is, this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, but you mutated it, right? Into working for you, seemingly. Well, the Lord's going to, take that away. Okay, and all the things in which you sought to have and the things in which you thought you was going to get or you may have had is going to go right to another brother, man. So, the water for that. So with that, I give all praise and the glory to Yahweh, Shema, Shabbat, Shem, Rakakodash, Wabba, Ball, and DTA, DTN.